Yo, guys, what is up? I am your host, Dwayne Land. I'm with my awesome co host, TLO, here on the Night Talk, where this is a relaxed night unless things take a rated R turn like they normally do. Scarlett is not going to be with us tonight. She is tired. Um, and by the way, guys, I'm going to have to move my shows, sadly. I have to go from Mondays to whenever Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays to whenever I am available. Yeah, TLO, I see that's the one con of going midnights.
Yeah, yeah.
The other con is I can't sleep on the phone with my fiance anymore. Fucking sucks.
There's that.
Success.
Fucking sucks. TLO, you'll actually be able to see all the comments come through.
Oh, can I now?
Yeah, since you're on. Yeah, TLO is on the first time on the network account. How's it feel, TLO?
I suppose I should feel special, but I haven't felt special since '97.
Why is that?
Not too much. Questionably good things happen. Let's just say that.
Hey, Pam, how are you? TLO, can you see that?
I can say that Pam is here. Good
And
evening,
if you
Pam.
want, and if you want to comment, let me do it on my end real quick, so I can teach you how
No,
to
I'm sure
comment.
something something to the effect of hitting the three dots and replying to comment.
It should say post a comment. Ah, so click more and click more and then hit post a comment.
Oh my, only steers and queers.
Wait, do you have me?
Yes, you're on speaker.
Oh my god. I'm reading full apple cart.
My fiance is on the phone. Everybody, say hi to Kenzie.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh wow, she said something.
She did say
Oh,
something.
holy shit! The 3 months I've been doing my show, and this is the first time she's ever said anything. That's not
I think it was with a
that this
freaking
ain't
card.
this ain't my mom, Pam. This is actually my fiance Mackenzie that's on here with us.
I ain't that old.
Yeah, TLO's in there commenting on Facebook and fucking YouTube
Well, that's just by default, I'm sure,
and Twitch.
because I am
Wow.
still opposed to Facebook. So
I'm gonna have to fight with you to make a Facebook account, ain't I?
probably. I'm sure at some point we could maybe I don't know, shoot for it.
No, Pam, my first day on the job was horrible. And TLO, I'm going to talk about that for a minute.
That's okay.
Because me and you were talking about that when I got off of work.
Yeah.
So everybody on here knows that I am an asthmatic. Right?
Correct.
Everybody knows I'm asthmatic. They had me put this cotton picking fucking cloth mask on, whatever the fuck this material is, that this fucking thing's made out of, for 3 hours. And I'm sitting there choking, dying, can't breathe. I'm in and out of the cooler. I'm in and out of the restaurant. And my mom gets there, gives me my inhaler. My manager walks up to me like, "Hey, do you want a face shield?" Bitch, I have been waiting 3 hours for you to ask me that question. So my first day on the job was really not that well.
Does not sound like it.
What, Teal? I think I went on a 30-minute rant with you about my work yesterday.
Yeah, it was about 30 minutes.
And by the way, I do apologize for falling asleep on you.
That's all right.
I do apologize about falling asleep. No.
It's all good.
Yeah, no, Mackenzie. Say that again, babe.
Don't apologize for sleep.
Yeah. No, Mackenzie said this. She said if she was there at my work, she would have strangled my manager for doing that.
Damn straight.
You want to explain why, though, hun?
Because he's a doofus. I mean, pretty much that simple.
You know, but it was a good day at work. I will say that. Downside to everything, I am working midnights. And by the way, guys, if you haven't noticed, yes, I've shaved my face and I've cut my hair.
Baby face.
And Kenzie, thank God to Kenzie, but it's fucking growing back in again. It is my unibrow. My fiance fixed my eyebrows and my unibrow.
Yeah.
So thankful to my fiance here. I've fucking got a beautiful face again. And not looking like a homeless man, TLO.
No, the appropriate word would be a scruffy nerf herder.
A scruffy what?
Nerf herder.
A Nerf burger?
Nerf herder. Have you not seen Star Wars?
Say it one more time. It's because of fucking Kenzie.
A scruffy nerf herder.
A scruffy Nerf herder. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Sorry.
It's all good. We got there.
Fucking my fiance wouldn't shut up for 2 minutes so I could fucking hear.
Of course not.
Well, you were troubling her for not talking.
You know what? But I'm happy she's talking, though.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm actually going to call her off my Google Voice number so I can get her actually in the fucking conversation.
I can hear both of you.
I know, but you'll hear a lot better this way. Just let me do what I'm doing. We're calling him Mackenzie. Hello, TLO. Can you hear?
Yeah, I heard her.
Okay, cool. No, and this is also in case when my phone starts updating, I still have her on the phone while I'm doing my show. But another thing I wanted to talk about tonight while I'm on here is tonight's protest, TLO, was horrible.
Well, it looked like it was getting off to a rocky start.
Oh, did you see the live video?
Yeah, I was on there. I even commented.
Oh, you did. You went like, oh, Dwayne.
That's because I saw you get out the car and I was like, oh, Dwayne, here we go.
Yeah, did you see me questioning the cops?
Yeah, and you were very, very civil. Like, very civil.
If that would have been my fiance would have been going to fucking jail.
Well, I would have been a little more abrupt with him.
Dude, I don't know. It's just Jackson. So what happened, TLO, is we got in the parking lot, right?
Right.
And this is before the town hall meeting. I went there to check on everybody about 4:30. And they started shit, right?
Right.
My car leaves so I can make it to a meeting I was supposed to get to. And we got stopped.
And see, I find that amusing because, like, the cop's explanation was beyond bullshit. I mean, has the mayor declared martial law?
No.
Well, then there's no reason why they should pull you over without probable cause.
So what happened was they gave us a letter at the beginning stating that, "Hi, I am a Jackson Township Police Department. I am a peace officer, and I am hereby declaring this protest a unlawful assembly."
They have to have reason, though.
But watch this. Halfway through the protest, TLO, when I get there, he said, when our leader was being detained at that moment, actually, no, this was when we were being pulled over. I asked him, because I said, "You never said nothing about the cars." And he went like, "Well, you need to look at the Ohio Revised Code because you're impeding traffic." TLO, we were going at least anywhere between 5 and 15 miles per hour.
So you're driving along slowly.
With our protesters who are not in the streets. Exactly. We are driving beside our protesters to make sure our protesters do not get hit.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, that's that legality bullshit. Because of that, they can technically pull you over.
So,
did you have your hazards on?
Yes.
Okay, at least there's that.
So, Sierra, who is our leader, asked people who was willing to be arrested, for the cause. We did let them know that, they can be bailed out. Like, hey, we will bail you out. We're not going to leave you sitting in jail and we'll fight the charges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, TLO. I'd say at least 40 out of the TLO? There's probably about 40 people there. And
that's a decent size.
I'd say probably about 20 of our people was willing to be arrested.
Sounds about right. About half.
Yeah, it's about half my group. And I'm sitting there going like, well, y'all are willing to be arrested. That's fine with me. I ain't going to say shit. Me, however, on the other hand, I was not being afforded to get arrested.
No, you're starting a new job.
Starting a new job. I have a baby that I'm worried about, and, didn't want to get arrested. Well, we got harassed again. 3 tickets were issued, 2 to the same person, mind you. I mean, about an hour or 2 apart. Say about 2.5 hours apart from each other. Because I was there when the first ticket was issued, right? And so, I mean, TLO, all this is going down. And I mean, it's just getting bad.
Yeah.
Well, when I come back from my meeting, I was only at my meeting for a couple hours. I don't know. My mind's still foggy from everything. And come back and they're still all in, the police parking lot. They're still protesting. Well, then we decide to walk. TLO, the goddamn protest wasn't done until 10 o'clock at night.
Well, then. No wonder why you're eating a late dinner.
That was the latest we've ever protested. But you know what? I mean, it's been a good couple protests, though, TLO. I can't really say anything.
Right.
But the one thing I want to talk about, Tilo, and this is going to kind of get your nerves rattling because you're a Minnesota Vikings fan, right? Did you hear they cut their preseason down by 2 games?
Yes.
What do you think of that?
I actually agree with it.
What?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because if you actually look at it, up to, I believe, I forgot what her name is, but she does like the NFL logistics or whatever. She ran the numbers, and basically up to 18% of the players get injured during the preseason.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and it's a decent amount. And that they've been fighting back and forth about whether or not they should have as many preseason games from the get-go before coronavirus ever hit and affected anybody's the sports teams playing.
Right.
But yeah, no, I agree with it. Because I mean, let's be real. They do have a training camp, and you should be able to get a fairly good assessment of a player's skills, and you should pretty much have a fair assessment from the get-go, just from scouts from college, from game tape from college, that sort of thing. The question is the game pressure, and so if you just get right to that right away and just have like maybe 2 preseason games to get those people accustomed to that, I have a feeling that more people would excel, especially the rookies, because
Right.
it's a learning curve. And if you go longer, it's more complacent, and the players don't necessarily have an opportunity to play in the first place. Because when you do the preseason, you start with like 100 players or something like that, and then after the first series, the first week's games, they cut it
Right.
down by like 12, and then the next week they cut it down again. And if you just go in there and assess these people and then cut them down, I mean, there's always free agency. They're always picking up undrafteds, when the season starts. So I don't think it would affect that as well.
I mean, but with like a team with like Minnesota, right? And I'm not putting the Vikings down in any way, shape, or form, Tilo, and you and I both know that.
Right.
I give you shit because you're a Vikings fan.
Yes. Because you're a Steelers fan.
Exactly. It's a good rivalry between me and you.
Correct.
But with
It'd
the way the Vikings,
it'd be different if you're a Saints fan, though.
I hate the Saints. I hate Drew Brees.
Oh, don't even get me started on Drew Brees. He's one of those players that I feel is a little too arrogant for his talent. He's a very talented man, but I think his own ego gets to him, and that's why of late in the recent years he hasn't been as effective or productive as a quarterback.
Right. Hey, Kenzie.
Not.
I'm about to call you back on my actual phone because it's turning back on.
I don't care.
All right. It just got done updated. I just want to let you know.
Okay.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay. I can actually go voice. Speaking of that, by the way, guys, if you want to call into the show, number is 330-353-8527. If you guys want to call into the Night Talk, call in to 330-353-8527 is our number. Here on the official Night Talk on the Freedom Revolution Network. But Tila, like I was saying, Drew Brees is one of the most over-talented men in the NFL.
Yes, there's definitely way better quarterbacks than him. And I wouldn't make a case for
Tom Brady either.
Correct. And we're going to find out. Like, don't get me wrong. The Buccaneers will be a good team.
But they're not going to be a Super Bowl worthy team.
I don't believe they're going to be a Super Bowl. I already saw that they have like a prediction that it's going to be the Bucs and the Steelers. And the Steelers, I definitely would take more than I would the Bucks as far as making the Super Bowl. Like,
well, because watch this. MG TalK, call in at 330-353-8527.
Oh, I feel sorry for you, McTow. I feel sorry.
I do
for
too.
You.
But here's the thing, though, and I was talking to you about this about my friend Patrick. We have an Ohio State quarterback. Actually, we have JT Barrett.
Yeah.
We picked up Barrett in the draft. No, really, Pam? That's what you're going to label me as a Bears fan? Get out of here with that shitty team. Click.
Yeah, I was about to say, I hope nobody would go as far as claim the Bears.
Now, see, and here's my thing. If we do go to the Super Bowl, we all know Ben's going to get hurt.
I don't think Ben's going to make it through the season, let alone make it to the Super Bowl.
Ben's going to get hurt between one of the first 5 games.
Absolutely. I would say in the first 4 games.
Pam, I am closer to Pittsburgh than I am Chicago.
Correct.
I mean, I don't
you're in like the center mid section of Ohio.
I don't like the Bengals, and I don't like the Browns.
Once again, who in the fracking mind would like the Bengals?
Hey, okay, I am an Andy Dalton fan, though. I will say that.
Hey, I'm always about ginger power, but still, I can't get behind Mr. Dalton. I think he's got talent, but I definitely don't. I couldn't agree with the Bengals keeping him as long as they did. I would have already tried to invest in a quarterback. I would say about 1 or 2 seasons ago.
Now, what do you think about AJ Green? Is my thing.
Oh, that whole deal?
AJ Green is a really good receiver.
He is beyond a really good receiver. I'd say he's definitely one of the top 10 receivers in the NFL.
Him as with former Steelers NFL wide receiver, Antonio Brown.
Correct. Which
did
they're suspecting will land in Seattle.
Did you see that eye roll?
No, I know. But better Seattle than Minnesota. But I'm still hoping.
Oh, don't let him come to Minnesota, dude. He's been booted off 3 teams already.
No, I know. But I don't doubt in my mind that Pete Carroll would try and take him under his wing. Because, let's face it, Pete Carroll, I would say, is one of the top 10 coaches in the NFL. And I would say, if I had a decade team, he would make the decade team for coaches.
Empty toe, we don't care if you're 2 stone. TLO stoned half the time he's fucking on here.
No, I wouldn't say that much.
Okay, but I say 25%. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So AJ Green is a good receiver, right?
Yes, he is.
Here's my only issue with AJ Green. Not a team player.
No. But we've seen plenty of people that are like that. Plenty of stars and plenty of great athletes that have let their athleticism and the fame that it brings go to their head.
Hey, baby, I'm turning you down so I can do my show, okay? I love you. Oh, she's upset with me. But the other one I want to talk about is the way that he left the NFL was a great running back, a great slot receiver if he needed to be, was Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Le'Veon Bell was a good slot receiver. He was a good running back. But when you're asking for $24 million for two positions.
Well, there's a lot of greedy motherfuckers out there too. Like what's his face? And I'll even throw Mr. Cook under the bus in that category.
I was about to throw Cook under the bus too. That's where I was going next.
Because, like, I'm sorry, but you're punk ass. I was there at that Detroit game, and I watched him go down. I was like, hell, I've been hit by a fucking moving vehicle harder than that, and didn't end up broken.
Right. You know, so
Delvin Cook, the running back for the Vikings, Pamela.
You know, so the way Le'Veon Bell left, he's asking for $24 million for two positions. Steelers commissioner told him no. NFL told him no. You know, and he quit. No, that's good. And he quits.
Yeah,
and the Steelers tried to sign him back for $24 million, and he said no.
Yes.
You know, let's look at another incident we've had with Steelers in the past couple of years. Let's go to last year's season. Let's go last year, last game, first game between the Browns and the Steelers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mason Rudolph, quarterback, tries to take a helmet. The Browns player does not concede. Gets his helmet ripped off and punches Miles Garrett in the balls. And gets clocked with his own helmet.
Well, karma is a bitch.
And Myles Garrett got suspended for the whole season. Mason Rudolph got suspended for 3 games.
Well, let's face it, as there is in life, unfortunately, there's a lot of favoritism too.
I get he's a rookie. I get that he's a rookie quarterback. Okay. I get that.
How they are. You know how the NFL is now about protecting quarterbacks. Sometimes it's gotten to be a little silly. Because it's like, are we playing professional football, or are we playing some old school playground fucking flag football?
And see, that's what it's turned into. You know, like the hit was late. Yes.
Yeah,
but if
absolutely.
You're playing traditional football, even after the ball is thrown, the quarterback's still going to get cracked.
Correct. There's sheer momentum that most people cannot fight. It's called gravity in physics, people. Get over it.
You know, and then go back a couple years before that. I'd say go 2015. AJ Brown, Antonio Brown ended up shoving his face in a Browns player's mask. Literally stepped on him. No, TL, he drop kicked him though, didn't he?
He kicked him. I don't know about drop kicking him, but he gave him a good kick.
You know, so my team doesn't have a good reputation for not being violent.
Well, still to this day, I don't think anybody's going to hold a candle to the 2009 Saints. So,
oh my God, don't even go there.
Well, that is the apex of the kind of bullshit that we're talking about.
Well, go back and look at the 2006 Vikings.
Yeah, well, they didn't have Bountygate. They just had really bad chips on their shoulders.
Y'all had a couple of fights in 2006.
Yep. Yeah.
Go back 3 years before that, 2003. Trust me, I've studied Minnesota.
Well, 2003, we had reason for it because they totally took Culpepper out.
That's what I'm saying. Your team has no
But
reputation.
let's just be real. They were targeting Culpepper's ass because Culpepper was running up and down on him, and he was just making him look stupid. He was doing what Cam Newton does before Cam Newton came about. Hell, before Cam Newton was out of fucking diapers.
And you know what? And that's another thing is Cam Newton is an overrated quarterback.
He is an absolute overrated. Look at the last game that the Panthers played the Vikings. Guess who won?
Vikings.
Correct.
I mean, for God's sake, they got beat by Denver in the Super Bowl. You got beat by the oldest fucking quarterback alive. Peyton Manning.
That time. Yeah, at that time.
What? His brother still plays for the Giants, though.
No. I think he's retired.
Let me look. See, this is the good thing about not having Scarlett on here.
I've heard rumors that he was retired or was going to retire because they were talking about where he would land as far as, sportscaster.
Okay, he is a former American football quarterback who played his entire 16 career for the New York Giants of the National Football League. His net worth is $150 million. Born January 3rd, 1981. But here's the thing. Everybody says that Cam Newton is a good quarterback, a good pocket quarterback, right, TLO?
Right. They do say that.
No.
I would also disagree.
He is not a pocket quarterback at all. Every time he gets rushed, or even if he's not getting rushed, he runs out the pocket.
Yeah, he does not know how to move within the pocket. And so anytime there's pressure on the pocket and it starts to collapse, that's when you can get him. And that's how the Vikings beat him.
The best two pocket quarterbacks I've seen is Brady and Ben Roethlisberger. Ben is an amazing pocket quarterback.
I would actually have to disagree with those. I would actually have to go
in my age,
and this will surprise folks, but I will actually have to side with MGTOW on this one, and I would have to say that for me, as far as I'm concerned, definitely Aaron Rodgers. Definitely Aaron Rodgers. He is almost the apex once again of pocket quarterbacks because he knows how to move so effortlessly in the pocket, and he is always sharp in the pocket.
I can give it to Aaron. That's how Aaron Rodgers beat us back in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And I think it was the 2011 or 2012 Super Bowl we got beat. Let me look it up. I don't want to be stating facts if I'm wrong.
That's all right, Pam. And you're talking about the Fukushima plant. And it doesn't matter now because that damn Fukushima plant has been pumping out so much radioactive fucking wastewater into the ocean. It doesn't matter if they crumble that thing now. It's already past the point. It's poisoned most of the fish in that area. They're starting to find deformities in animals because the stuff is seeping into the groundwater, and then the animals are eating the grass, drinking the water, all that stuff. So it's starting to seep into the wildlife. Fukushima is the single worst radiological disaster, way worse than Chernobyl, because that thing still right now, right this second, as I breathe and talk, is polluting, pumping thousands of gallons of radioactive wastewater into the ocean because they don't have any more room to contain it. Like they
Right.
apparently have at least, I think they said 3 to 4 super tankers sitting with this radioactive wastewater because they don't know where to fucking put it.
Right. In TLO, so everybody has been telling me that the Green Bay Packers beat the Steelers 52-25 in the 2010 Super Bowl. I'm going to prove a couple people wrong here because I have the statistics up, right? So I'm sitting here and looking at it, TLO. Super Bowl XLV was an American football game between the American Football Conference AFC champion Pittsburgh Steelers and the National Football Conference champion Green Bay Packers to decide the National Football League champion for the 2010 season. The Packers defeated the Steelers by the score of 31-25. Now, mind you, and I'm going to say it for the people of this. My quarterback, TLO, correct me if I'm wrong. They put our quarterback in with a concussion that game.
Yeah, they did.
Now, TLO, correct me if I'm wrong. In the second half, we were winning 25-21 until they took Charlie Batch out.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that. Ha, good old Batch.
I'll give it to you. Batch was one of the fucking most, besides Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw was an amazing fucking quarterback.
He was. A lot of people don't realize it, but he was one of the best, like, ever.
Here, I'll pull up a YouTube. Fuck it, yeah. I'll pull up a YouTube clip of
Yeah,
Terry Bradshaw.
some of the stuff he was doing back in his days would be amazing still today.
Terry Bradshaw, and then I will say this: one of the most ever amazing halfbacks I've seen, and I don't give a fuck who you are, is Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, the bust was powerful back.
Jerome Bettis was my fucking favorite.
He was a lot of people's favorites.
He's my mom's favorite still to this day.
Yeah, I would still have to give it up for my all day AP.
All right, we're gonna watch a little something, okay? And we'll see if YouTube hits me with a copyright. So watch this.
Hello there. Are you sleeping on a Nectar mattress or are you sleeping on a piece of garbage? Not sure.
Did I think he lit it up off the field? No, he always seemed a little socially awkward. When he got on the field, was he a killer? Were they afraid of him? Damn right they were.
And this is only 4 minutes, guys.
This is the story of the quarterback who came in from the cold. The first overall pick of the 1970 draft, Terry Bradshaw had to overcome the struggles of being a young quarterback. Withering criticism from Steelers coach Chuck Noll and the Pittsburgh press. Even questions about his intelligence.
He was a bit of a delicate personality, Bradshaw. A tough guy on the field, a beast, but he had some insecurities.
Yeah, I don't go out to the restaurants that I used to frequent. Don't read the newspapers because they're going to say bad things about you. So you're crushed a little bit there.
Ha, when you have hair.
Fox. He's stupid like a fox.
The resentment and the anger I had from being called dumb and booed and pushed in and out of the lineup, you learn to use it as a tool.
Sometimes the easiest place to be is in the crucible. All the bullshit falls away. All the crap of you answering questions. At the end of the day, when you're back in that pocket and you got Jack Youngblood flying past your head at the speed of light, it is the most peaceful place you can be. Because it's bing, bang.
I mean, these fucking passes, TLO.
Right
Look
on.
at that.
Yep.
He was like the javelin champion of the United States for like 10 years. Yeah, the
Perfectly
guy had a freaking gun.
played.
It's one of the 5 best guns that ever played the game. Its name is Zelway. It's Marino.
Bam.
Bang of it. See receiver, throw receiver. Throw deep, baby. That's my memory of Bradshaw. Is when he got in a bind. You better have
I
your
mean,
cup
look at
on
the
back
spiral.
and Noli Ryan.
Right.
On the field,
Look at the
that.
loft.
Perfect. Double coverage against the Dolphins.
and his anger, he found strength.
Double
Yeah, look
coverage
at that.
against
With
the
the
Rams.
guy, yeah, and a guy in his face.
Did Terry Bradshaw find
On the wrong side of the field. Triple coverage against.
Opposite throwing.
man right now? Terry, what kind of big for you?
No strap on him.
Send me, put me back in one Super Bowl. Let me hear my name over the loudspeaker. Let me hear the roar of the crowd. And put me on the 1 foot.
For real. And then once he felt it, that was it.
Timeouts and give me my boys.
Yeah, just watch.
See the eyes roll.
Reminds me of a '98 team dressed in purple and black,
Dude, that fucking arm, though, against Dallas.
right? Well,
Look at
hey,
that.
for those people that were talking about the Packers getting beaten in the Super Bowl by like 51, no, that didn't happen. But there was a game I do remember in '98 where a team named the Vikings absolutely
Watch this,
eviscerated
TLO.
the Jaguars. The
Jukes
score
it.
of 51-10.
Jukes it and gets it over the shoulder. Deep. He is the only quarterback I've ever known to be able to do that.
With a big play. Go to Super Bowl 14 and take that touchdown pass at the end of the game to John Stoll. That's who I am. He pulls it in at the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, and it's a touchdown to Pittsburgh.
We all show up at jobs where we don't necessarily think who we're working for at certain points in our life. Turns out it was a perfect marriage because the proof's in the pudding. The guy's got more rings than a married pimp. And you know something? That's what matters at the end of the day.
TLO, that man is the reason why Pittsburgh Steelers has so many rings.
Correct.
Just look at the spiral that man has.
No, he threw very pretty passes.
Look at it. The one clip we've seen against the Dolphins, it was double to triple coverage and put it through it.
Right.
What quarterback do you know that can throw inside a double coverage like that?
I honestly haven't seen it since a couple of times that my man Cunningham was able to pull off in '98. Because there are some passes that you could play some of his passes, and those things were like, what in the hell?
I love Pam's comment right there. Back then, football players worked for their money and took the hits and kept on going.
Correct.
And there were a lot of – okay, wait a minute. You can't match Favre to Terry Bradshaw. Hold on a second. I'll argue this.
Oh, here we go.
Favre was a hell of a fucking quarterback, but nobody can fucking beat Terry Bradshaw.
Ooh, a Bradshaw-Favre battle would be pretty strong, though.
It would go neck and neck. I'm
Correct.
not saying it wouldn't.
Correct. But that one would be, for me, that one is even a tough one. Because I personally would slightly favor Favre just because I've seen Favre pull shit out of his ass that I don't think I've seen anyone on the field in the NFL do. And I mean anybody. I don't care if it's a quarterback. I don't care if it's fucking Emmitt Smith. Favre has done some crazy, impossible shit that shouldn't even physically be possible.
Okay, I will say that when Brett Favre was getting hit and he still was able to throw a 55-yard pass, that shocked me.
Correct. And he would do that a lot. He would take hits as he threw because there's always times where us as Vikings fans would be watching and we'd be like, yeah, we're going to get him this time. And we think we got him and he gets a fucking touchdown. And you're sitting there like, what the fuck did just happen?
Migto, I'm not saying that he can't do it, but with the way Bradshaw did it, I mean, for God fucking sakes, Favre couldn't throw from one side of the field to the fucking other with his fucking what? Favre was a lefty, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Favre being a fucking lefty, you're supposed to be able to throw on both sides of the fucking field. Couldn't even throw the opposite side of the fucking field while running. And I know many fucking lefty quarterbacks that can do that.
The only one I can think of is Russell Wilson.
That's where I was going.
That's the only quarterback I know who can throw as effective both left or right.
Damn it. Shut up. You know, but TLO, here's my thing though too. Is I love Brett Favre. Brett Favre went from Minnesota to Green Bay.
From Green Bay to Minnesota.
He went from Green Bay to Minnesota, and that fucking hurt.
Well, it hurt Green Bay more than it hurt Minnesota, that's for damn sure. And I guarantee if there wasn't such a thing as fucking Saint Bountygate, he would have had another ring.
I love how you hate this. I love how you hate the Saints.
That's why fucking karma's a bitch, and that's why the Minneapolis Miracle happened. It was exactly for that reason. They were like, karma was just like, no, we need to set a few things straight here.
You know what? And this is why I love your hatred towards the Saints.
Oh, it is a hatred. Because, like, I believe, like, I'm sorry, but after Katrina, they got so coddled as a football team, it was ridiculous. I mean, they should be embarrassed for themselves as an organization, as a team, because it was like they were trying to hand a championship to the Saints just because of Katrina. I mean, like, yes, I know that you've had your things destituted and shit like that. And yes, I would believe totally that if the Vikings were to win a Super Bowl, it would be a great uplift for the community. But I don't believe in the Vikings winning a Super Bowl or being handed one just because of what's happened in our city. That's fucking ridiculous.
You know what? And unfortunately, TLO, I agree with you.
Well, yeah, if you stand on any sort of principles, like, and that's totally how it was, because I mean, they quickly renovated the Superdome, like, I mean, quickly renovated. I think they did it in like 6-7 months or something like that.
I think it was a 5-month project, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty quick. Like, I mean, really quick.
I think it was a 5-month project because when Katrina hit, the season was getting ready to start.
Yeah, it was fairly close because I believe Katrina was in July.
Sorry, guys, I'm packing a pack of cigarettes.
While I watch people get eviscerated in the war drama Full Metal Jacket.
You know what, but TLO, I will say this, though. If you want to have a quarterback challenge, I'm going to say this. Terry Bradshaw, Brett Favre, and Eli Manning.
I wouldn't even put Eli Manning in that category. Are you kidding me?
I mean, okay, but wait. And here's the reason why I say Eli Manning. Sorry, I got to light my cigarettes in the stove. My mother took my lighter up with her. And left me using the stove. Okay, what about Peyton? Put Peyton in that.
Yes, I would put Peyton in that.
But let me ask you this. Why would you not say Eli Manning? That's my question.
He was a sturdy, solid quarterback, consistent for the most part until the end of his career. But he never really got those over-the-top plays like you would expect from like a true superstar quarterback. Say like a Russell Wilson. Say like a Kurt Warner. Say like a Brett Favre. Say like a Randall Cunningham.
Now watch this. If I wanted a good quarterback challenge between new quarterbacks and old quarterbacks, right?
Right. Like the old versus the new.
I'm going to go Terry Bradshaw and Brett Favre. Then put Aaron Rodgers in as an old quarterback. You know, as the new / old quarterback. God, he played until like a couple of years ago and quit. It was like 5 years ago he quit.
I would get old school this way. I would go about don't get me started on don't even get me started on Brady. Want to get me started on arrogance and players and
they tried to hit Minnesota with a deflate gate.
Yeah, and we saw how far that panned out.
I laughed my ass off when y'all got hit with a deflate gate that game, saying the ball wasn't above pressure. I'm still laughing. But don't even get me started on fucking Tom Homo. Don't get me started on him.
No, Mr. Brady is a superstar quarterback, but once again, he's one of those superstars that suffers from his ego and his pride.
I would agree.
And the teams that have been able to beat him are the teams that don't sit there and say, OMG, I'm going up against Tom Brady. Nah, they're like, Tom Brady? Who the fuck's this guy?
Do you know what? And I'm going to bring up a good point to that, TLO. Was the last Super Bowl they were in last year.
Right.
The Rams and the Patriots. That was a good-ass fucking game, but also a boring-ass fucking game.
I would agree with you on the latter more than the first. It wasn't all that good. I actually walked away a couple of times and came back. I was like, all right.
I did too. Like, I shut it off for a good quarter because I didn't turn it back on until probably the beginning of the third, and I shut it off halfway into the second.
Right. Yeah, no, there's been a couple of Super Bowls where I've kind of tuned out. So
now the one Patriot game that I did watch that was a Super Bowl was the New York Giants in the Patriots.
That one was funny.
That was a good fucking game, but that was funny as shit.
It was. And it was a good game. But yes, it was more hilarious than anything else.
But I will say this, the Rams had the potential to win or go back when the Cardinals played.
I believe the Cardinals will be a strong team, and I definitely believe that they'll make the playoffs.
The Cardinals were winning in the half.
Yes. And I believe
what happened?
It happens sometimes.
The Cardinals exhausted their energy way too quick.
Well, yeah, they had a lot of juice at the beginning, but they didn't know how to
How to
sustain it.
handle it.
Yep.
I will give you that. The first half of that game was fucking amazing. Hands down, one of the best top games I've seen in the Super Bowl.
Which
Besides,
halftime show, Pam? Are you talking about
besides,
Bootygate?
besides TLO, the one game that I thought was amazing was the Cardinals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That was a very, very good game.
That was the best game that I've seen in forever.
Actually, I think I would say the San Francisco Super Bowl.
She said any. I would say the best halftime show that I seen was the Kid Rock halftime show.
Best one, hands down, Prince.
Yeah, but the best one to my date and age would have been when the Black Eyed Peas performed in the
I
Steelers
remember
Green
that.
Bay one. And the only reason I say that is because Slash showed up.
That was all right. It was definitely fun and entertaining.
I'm a Slash fan because he's a Guns N' Roses guitarist.
Yes, I think
I'm a
most
Guns
people know that.
I'm a Guns N' Roses fan.
Ah,
I love Guns N' Roses. I love Guns N' Roses and I love Aerosmith. Because you got to think, Slash played for both. But I will say this, Tilo. The only reason I'm saying the Steelers in the Cardinals game, because the Steelers were down by a touchdown. And that interception by James Harrison sealed it for the Steelers.
yes.
The first pick six that happened in the fourth was Troy Polamalu, who brought that back for 40 yards, which set them up for the field goal, which put them behind a touchdown. But when Arizona threw the ball in the end zone and got it picked off by James Harrison, that upset me. And I've always been a Steelers fan, but I was so upset with Arizona. Because instead of throwing it to the left where you had a receiver open, you threw it into triple coverage on the right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the way that the Steelers play defense now, TLO, I've always seen defense play as a fake blitz to a cover 2 or a cover 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing how Pittsburgh pulls it off. I don't think any other team could pull that off so well as Pittsburgh does. Because a lot of teams suck at faking a blitz. I'll give Minnesota the cred because they can fucking.
I was about to say, I don't know too many people, and I think it's even a statistic too, that the Vikings, at least I believe in 2017, were like the masters of the blitz. Like they blitzed the most and they were the most effective on the blitz.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I was going to give Minnesota the props for being able to execute the blitz, but they could not fake a blitz.
True.
Now, the best offense of the 2019 season, hands down, I would say it was between Minnesota. Actually, take that back a step. 2018 season. And y'all are going to fucking chew me out when I say this here for a minute. 2018 season. Minnesota and the Browns. Because look at it like this. They had a rookie quarterback come in and win 6 straight games.
Correct.
And then look at Minnesota. What, TLO, in 2018? Then they win 7 consecutive games?
Correct. And that was also with our backup. Although, unfortunately, or fortunately, our backup was actually pretty darn good.
So like, and here's my prediction for the 2020 season if it happens. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Steelers and the Bucks making it to a Super Bowl if it happens. And I hate saying it.
I still have trouble seeing, because my guess is how it would play out is the Steelers will get in the playoffs probably a 5 or 6 seed.
Well, and here's the reason I'm saying the Steelers.
Which means they'd have to go through Arrowhead. And Arrowhead is the key.
Right. Okay, but look at it this way. You got a young quarterback who was amazing at OSU, TLO. Amazing. If you watch any Ohio State games, TLO,
Mahomes amazing though.
Patrick Mahomes
is also a player that seems to pull shit out of his ass.
And so does JT Barrett. TLO, go back to the Michigan game.
I saw some of that.
Where fucking Michigan was beating the shit out of Ohio. But JT Barrett, the next 20 plays he ran, was pulling shit out of his ass.
He was, but they were also going soft on him because he was a younger quarterback, and we do know that they do protect younger quarterbacks, no matter whether it's college or professional.
I know, but look how fucking rough fucking Michigan's defense played, though.
Well, Michigan, that's basically all they have. And that's all they have had for what, the last, I'd say 5-7 years. They haven't had Michigan hasn't had a really powerful, high-powered offense for a while.
I was about to say it's been a good 5 to 7 years since Michigan's beat Ohio.
Correct.
Ooh, Pam said, who would be awesome to play in the halftime show? AC/DC, because they had 2 of the most iconic songs tied to MCU and RDJ. Would put on the red suit for the very last time. Okay, but here's the thing with AC/DC, the singer, and I hate to say this, the singer can no longer sing. When Axl Rose, and God, I'm an AC/DC fan by heart, TLO.
Yes, I can tell.
I listened to the first song I ever listened to AC/DC was Dirty Deeds. Was the first song I ever listened to by AC/DC. But here's the thing. When Axl Rose came in and performed at Rock on the Range, but AC/DC's concert after the singer said he could no longer sing because he went tone deaf.
That does happen.
Axl Rose screwed it up. They said 2,500 people left that concert.
That does happen too.
Because if you look at it, the singer before Axl Rose and the singer before him, them two sounded identically the same, which made AC/DC the way it was. Because you got to think, the one AC/DC singer killed himself by alcohol poisoning. But the one that came in sounded exactly the same to the original singer.
Wasn't that Hagar?
Yeah. And MG Toe is saying Saints and Chiefs. Ugh. The Saints go to a Super Bowl. I'm not watching it.
There's no way the Saints are going to the Super Bowl. Teddy B is a really great quarterback, but he's not that great.
I would give it to the Chiefs, though, because they have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's the thing is, for the AFC, the gatekeeper is the
Mahomes.
Chiefs. Yep, Mahomes and the Chiefs. And so for the NFC, that one is more up in the air because there's been so much more movement within the NFC than there has been in the AFC.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of teams that were, for a better lack of words, shit teams last year that I guarantee will be potential playoff teams.
Yeah, their defense is a lot better than people think, but statistically proven.
Yes, but their offense is, I would say,
Shit.
definitely, it's definitely overrated. It is an overrated offense, and it's all because of the Drew Brees effect. I mean, yes, he's got great numbers, but can he win the games like he used to be able to? Because
And
that's
the
what the
one,
problems was, and that's why people have started becoming critical of Drew Brees even before whatever political bullshit fallout happened. Like they were already questioning about, Drew Brees, is this going to be it? Because even the public is starting to acknowledge the fact that his skill set is waning.
well, and the one thing, TLO, too, that I really want to talk about is how Patrick Mahomes, okay, not Patrick Mahomes, but who is the person that retired right after? Wow, Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski retired 2 years ago. Tom Brady moves to the Buccaneers. And guess who waltzes out of retirement?
Yes.
Rob Gronkowski.
Yes.
I knew Rob because even Rob Gronkowski tried to go to the WWE. Dumbass.
That was a joke, though. Anybody who does the 24-hour belt, because that's been a joke belt around for 20, 30 years, because there's probably not too many people out there that would know that I am well knowledged in not only NFL, NBA,
WWE.
but WWE, NASCAR.
It's another left turn. It's another left turn.
Just go left. But yeah, so most people don't know that. So if you try and trip me up with WWE stuff, like I will know. And the NASCAR stuff as well, I will know.
Okay, so TLO, here's my thing, right?
And in response to MGTOW, I don't believe the Saints can beat the Seahawks.
Okay, see, that's my issue right there. Is the Seahawks' defense is way too good.
Yeah, the Pete Carroll's defensive schemes have always been great because he's been able to plug and play players from different teams. So if they were to actually go ahead and say pick up Everson Griffin, like everyone's expecting them to do sometime during the preseason timing, their defense is going to be quite ridiculous because the only reason why Everson Griffin isn't with the Vikings because they think of him as some sort of logistical liability, which is stupid because he's still a great player. I mean, he was still productive. He still had, what was it? I think 6, 7 sacks last season.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm sorry. There's people that are getting paid way more than him that aren't producing as much. What's that Joker's name out in the Rams? Isn't it Aaron something? Aaron Donald? Yeah, Aaron Donald. That's a perfect example. That motherfucker is getting paid so much damn money, and he can produce when he wants to, but for the most part, he's one of those players also that lets his ego get in the way, and he doesn't go all out all the time. part of the reason why the Vikings defense has been one of the better ones in the NFL for the last few seasons, not only is because of the leadership and the defensive schemes that Coach Zim has come up with, but is the fact that all of the Vikings defensive players play balls to the wall.
See, and the Vikings
that's the reason why Xavier Rhodes is off the team, is because he started to slack.
Here's my thing about Xavier Rhodes. I followed him in college.
Right. A lot of
and I followed him in his first 2 years of NFL. His first 2 years of the NFL was okay.
Correct, MGTOW. The Eagles are also a potentially dangerous team.
Okay, I'm going to have to completely disagree.
Oh, they're going to be much more improved this year, especially since
they've got but they could barely win a single game last year.
As I said, that's because the league was different. I mean, think of the division that they were in at that time.
Where's the Eagles at now?
Well, I mean, they're in the same division, but the division has changed drastically. All the divisions in the NFC have changed drastically. The South is like an upheaval. The West is very much undetermined because people still haven't gotten a feel for what Arizona is going to bring to the table. And so I have a feeling that out West, it's going to be a big battle between the Hawks and the Niners. With the Cardinals trying to kind of egress their way in, surprisingly. I definitely believe that Arizona is going to be one of those dark horse challengers.
Right.
Just like I believe the Bucks will be a dark horse challenger. They're not going to be a given. I'm not going to just automatically say, oh, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski's on the Bucks. They're going to win the fucking Super Bowl. That's just stupid.
Right. So TLO, I have another question for you. Oh shit! I think fucking Antonio Brown is with the Oakland Raiders.
And they for AFC team will be a dark horse threat.
TLO, fucking Antonio Brown is with the Seahawks.
He did sign with the Seahawks?
I'm sitting here watching the fucking Sports Illustrated video on TikTok, and you can fucking see Antonio Brown and Russell Wilson going at it.
Well, no, they were practicing together. They just hadn't confirmed yet if he was actually going to land there. I have a feeling he probably will because, as I said before, Pete Carroll has a way of coaching players that have had issues before. I mean, look at how he handled the Beast.
Yeah. Look at how he handled Russell Wilson when he came in, though, too.
True. He was a little hothead when he first came on the scene.
But you know what? The one I think was the most hot-headed, though, was Troy Polamalu when he came in.
Oh, yeah, no, that brother had heat.
Because he was a hot-headed son of a bitch because he came from LSU. And we all know anybody who played for LSU had a fucking hot head on them.
Yeah, they had a chip.
But look at the works Mike Tomlin did on Troy.
No, Tomlin is a great coach. I knew he would be. It was stupid for the Vikings to let him go.
Oh, Mike Tomlin was the Vikings coach?
Correct.
I see. That's a fact. I didn't even know.
It was during a turbulent time when we were going through coaches like bubblegum. And there was like, what was it? Mike Tice and Brad Childress and Mike Tomlin was in there for a bit. Frazier. I think there was one other one. And then we finally decided to land on Mike Zimmerman.
See, and you know what? I'm glad that the Steelers got Mike Tomlin.
Absolutely.
I'm honestly glad that the Steelers got Mike Tomlin because if the coach we had there now before Tomlin came in, we would not be the team we are today.
No, absolutely not.
And the sad fact is that the Patriots is tied with the Steelers.
What do you mean tied with the Steelers?
For rings.
Oh, yeah.
Because we all thought it was going to be Dallas. That would win a Super Bowl.
I have been saying this for, and this is funny, I've been saying this for like the last fucking decade, that the Cowboys are not going to be going to a Super Bowl anytime soon. Anytime soon.
You don't see the Steelers hitting the Super Bowl anytime? Oh, you're talking about Dallas?
Yes, Dallas.
Here's my thing about Dallas. They need to get rid of Dak Prescott.
Dak and Ezekiel Elliott are very impressive specimens. They just don't have the right team around them.
Okay, now wait a minute. Back off my boy for a minute. Hold on. Ezekiel Elliott's also an Ohio State player. Now wait a minute.
He's a great player.
Zeke's problem is he has Dak Prescott for a quarterback.
Well, there's a lot of issues for Zeke. Trust me, it's not just Dak. There's a lot of the coaching has been pretty atrocious of late.
Yeah, the coaching has been one. Constantly using Zeke as a run instead of getting the ball out thrown to him a little bit.
Yeah, no, they definitely don't utilize his skill set the way it should be, and that's what I mean is he needs better players around him so he can exhibit that. They need better tight ends to block down the field so he can catch it in open space and make some plays, because they don't have any blocking tight ends. Like what? How long is it? Has it just been 1 year, or has it been like, or did Witten just retire?
Right.
And like
So,
Witten was a great tight end, but he definitely was not a blocker.
yeah, he has never been a blocker.
Correct. Was Dallas ever in a Super Bowl?
Yes, Dallas has been in.
Oh, Pam.
Dallas has won 5 Super Bowls.
I need to send you a fucking cookie for that comment. Because I shit you guys not. I have literally, you can ask anybody that knows me. I've been saying this up and down for so long that Dallas is not going to a damn Super Bowl.
Were there any teams that never got a chance to play in the Super Bowl?
At this point, there's 3, I believe.
Eagles?
No, the Eagles have played in the Super Bowl. They won.
Who hasn't? Browns?
Correct.
Bengals?
Oh, wait, no, I think the Browns did back in...
That was championship days, but they've never been to a Super Bowl.
You're right, that was championship days. The Browns...
Bengals?
Have the Jets been in there since the Super Bowl?
I'm going to look what teams have not played in Super Bowl.
I don't think the Jets have made it since championship days.
What teams have not played in the Super Bowl? All right. Only 4 of 32 NFL teams have never been
off by 1.
A club of old that lost its 5th member 9 years ago when the New Orleans Saints won. The non-super club Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, Cleveland Browns, and the Houston Texans. Holy shit. The Lions have never been. The Jaguars have never been. I thought the Texans went to a Super Bowl.
No, they made it to the AFC Championship, and then they got spanked. Or no, they didn't even make it to the championship. I think it was the division round, and they got spanked by Brady.
Okay, yeah, the Lions and Browns both.
Yeah, the Lions. Don't even get me started on the Lions. They're
So
garbage.
listen to this. The Lions and Browns both won championships prior to the NFL merger in 1966. Jacksonville and Houston have only been around since 1995 and 2002.
Correct. They're relatively young expansion teams.
Now, if we want to be technical, the Browns have the most wins in a championship-style game. And the only reason is because y'all had a good fucking coach from the city of Massillon. And y'all know who I'm about to say. Paul Brown. Paul Brown is the reason the Bengals exist and the Browns exist. Did anybody know that? TLO, did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Paul Brown created the Browns and the Steelers. Not Steelers, the Bengals. God, that was a fuck up to my team. But do you know what, Tila? The one thing I will say is, though, the Browns are getting better.
Absolutely. They're not making a Super Bowl, but they're definitely going to be a more competitive team. I think the Browns this year will win 7 games.
I'm gonna go up one. I'm gonna go up one more than you. 8.
You're gonna say 8?
I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna go 8. I really don't even see in the Steelers going to a playoff game this year, though.
There's a lot of teams that were in the playoffs last year that won't be in the playoffs this year.
I don't even think the Steelers made it to the playoffs last year.
No, I think they just missed it. Yeah, because I think they were fighting for the 6th seed, and it was the Titans who edged them out. And so it was the Titans, I believe. Who was it all? I didn't even really pay attention. That's how kind of skunky last year was. Like I was mad as heck as the Vikings too. So
Patriots went in. Rams went in. Jaguars went in. Yeah, I'm gonna look. Hold on. Who all made it to the playoffs last year?
I have to type all that out. You should just be able to put in playoffs 2019.
So 2019, 20. Okay. Here we go. You had the wild card team. Well, what the fuck? I don't want WikiLeaks. You had the Kansas City Chiefs and the Indianapolis Colts, Los Angeles Rams and the Dallas Cowboys, New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Chargers, New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's what it was. It was the Colts that were the ones that just kind of barely got in.
But I will say this, though. I watched the Super Bowl this year. I'm sad to say it. I did it from a bus on my phone.
I watched most of it.
I was actually happy the Chiefs won.
No, I thought it was a cool moment. I wasn't. That's the thing is, I didn't really have a dog in the fight either way. So I was
I had
like,
a dog in the fight. I did. Whoever goes to the Super Bowl, as long as it's not the Patriots, we good.
huh. Well, that's definitely not happening this year. I'm gonna tell you that much for certain. They will be a competitive team, but they're not Super Bowl material.
And I will say this: was the Chiefs getting their ass kicked for a little bit? Yes. I'm not gonna lie, Chiefs were getting their ass kicked. Yellow.
Yeah, and then once again, like that shit that Favre would pull on the Vikings.
Patrick Mahomes came out of fucking nowhere.
Yep, and literally just took it over. Like literally, I think it was like where he just took the ball and ran on one of the plays, and he got like almost 20 yards.
Dude, the offensive line just exploded out of nowhere.
Yeah, they did. Like all of a sudden, they were a different team.
And especially in the fourth quarter after throwing 6 picks.
Right?
You still come back and win.
Exactly.
I want to know where the offense gets that energy. Because everybody says that the NFL rigs games. There's no fucking way in hell that the NFL can rig a fucking football game.
Yeah, it'd have to be some pretty subvert shit.
Now, am I pissed that the Patriots have won in the past 4 years? Yes.
I think most people are kind of tired of it.
But
And
I was on
that's why the NFL was so apt to cater to Rob Gronkowski coming back to play with Brady again, was because they were like, oh, people are kind of like tired of the Patriots. So if Brady goes there, let's make the Bucks like the next, child team. And I do believe that that's how the NFL influences things in games. I don't believe they technically have like a physical bearing on the outcome.
right, and let me say this: the only reason I got to watch the Super Bowl on my phone last year is because I'm going to turn this down so you can see it, TLO. Because this is a good app for like if you're at work. It's called NFL Mobile.
Now I've got NFL.com on my phone because I've got Verizon and it came with it.
I downloaded the NFL Mobile app, right?
Right.
Would you ever see women? Would you ever see women ever play in the Pro Football League? Also, would
Yeah.
you ever go see them go play? Hell yeah!
Yes. I believe they will, and soon.
They wear fucking bikinis and shoulder pads when they play. They don't play
No.
around.
She meant in like the NFL.
Oh hell yeah! I'll go watch them play. If there's a women's team, oh hell yeah! If there's an all women's team,
I would say I would watch because like I don't know, I totally like I've seen movies and like prime examples, Starship Troopers. Like their football team was all mixed and different people, and the quarterback was a woman. And I could totally see a woman being a quarterback. I could totally see a woman being a safety or a
yep.
cornerback. Because I could see a woman fly around and smack the heck out of somebody. Seriously. Definitely can be a kicker. To be honest, the special teams, like any woman could probably get in right now in the NFL. They would just have to be open to that idea. And I believe like if they were open to that idea and would start integrating as of like this season, even.
Ooh, I got the first week schedule, TLO, if you want to go by it real quick. Week 1 schedule, you ready?
Go for it.
Texans versus Chiefs, Raiders versus Panthers, Colts versus Jaguars, Bears versus Lions, Browns versus Ravens is the first game of the week. Holy shit!
I feel bad for the fucking Browns.
Jets versus the Bill. Packers versus Vikings. Seahawks versus Falcons. Dolphins versus Patriots. Eagles versus Redskins. Chargers versus Bengals. Buccaneers and the Saints. Cardinals and the 49ers. Cowboys and the Rams. Steelers and the Giants. Titans and the Broncos.
I would want to watch that Arizona game.
I would too. I want to go look at week 2.
But yeah, I feel bad for the Browns. Let's see, who else do I feel bad for?
God, I feel bad for the Browns again. You want to know who they're going on at week 2?
Who?
Bengals.
Yeah, that's not going to end well. It'll be a competitive game, but I don't think that they'll beat
I feel bad
Bengals.
for you guys. You guys got the Colts.
I think we can beat the Colts.
So the teams I feel bad for currently is the Browns in week 1 because of the Ravens. Jets and the Bills. I feel bad for the Bills because the Jets are going to walk right over them.
Another interesting one from week 1 will be the Raiders game.
And especially the Vikings and Packers game.
Yeah, because I believe it's actually here.
You guys are actually away,
Really?
I think. Where is it at? Insights, stats, highlights, preview. I'm just gonna click buy tickets and see where I'm buying them from. No, it's at your guys's. TLO, they're 160 for one ticket, dude. Is 166 for section 328, row 7.
Woo!
The highest for section 328, row 2 is 225.
Damn.
That's your highest. Ranges for anywhere from 166.
I've never sat in the new stadium. I've never sat any less than in the 200 sections because that would be the secondary ring.
But let's go back and look at the schedule, TLO, because I do feel bad for the Browns.
Yes. The Browns have a tough schedule. The Vikings have a tough schedule too, but the Browns do have a tougher schedule.
And I want to look at the Viking schedule because I can look them up. Get out of here.
See, I keep hoping that somebody in the front office will pull their heads out of their asses and just go ahead and pick up Colin Kaepernick.
Yes and no. Okay, you ready?
I guarantee you he's still got it, and I guarantee you he would come back and play with a fucking vengeance.
Are you ready, TLO?
And I'm also guaranteeing that Cousins is probably not going to make it through the damn year.
You ready for your schedule?
Go for it.
Preseason, the 2 games are going to be Vikings versus the Browns. Well, here's your preseason games. Texans versus Vikings, Vikings versus Bengals, Vikings versus Browns, and Vikings versus Seahawks.
They'll probably do Browns and Seahawks for the 2.
Probably, and then here's your schedule. You ready? Because this goes all the way out to January 3rd for you guys.
Right?
You have Packers versus Vikings, Vikings versus Colts, Titans versus Vikings. I'll just read you the opposing teams. Ready? You have the Browns, the Seahawks, the Packers, the Colts, the Titans, the Texans, the Seahawks, the Falcons, the Packers, the Lions, the Bears, the Cowboys, the Panthers, the Jaguars, the Buccaneers, the Bears, the Saints. You guys play the Saints on Christmas Day.
Yes.
There's going to be Christmas football this year?
Yes.
Yay. The one game I do feel bad for y'all, and I'm going to hate to say this, is the Cowboys game.
I actually think it's not going to be that one. That's going to be the really bad one for us.
Which one do you think it is going to be?
I think it's going to be a surprising one. Do we or do we not play the Raiders?
I'm scrolling. No, Raiders are not on your schedule.
See, the one thing that has always been advice for the Vikings is we do not play well against AFC teams. So that being said, then the next logical one that's going to be the really bad one that trips us up would probably be the Texans then.
I'm going to go Texans and Seahawks is where you guys are going to struggle.
Yeah, Seahawks we've always had issues with.
Cowboys, I see y'all struggling.
Cowboys, I think, will be a competitive game.
Bucks is where I see y'all struggling.
I seriously don't think the Bucks are going to be like they will be a competitive team. They'll be good, but I really don't see them catching that lightning in the bottle right away.
So, MG Toe said, no. Bills is going to kick ass this year.
The
I
who?
can see that. The Bills.
Yeah, no, Bills are going to be a really good team. They, I believe, are going to be probably they're going to edge into the playoffs, probably at a 5 seed.
And then TLO, I have a question for you. How well do you guys get along with like the Falcons and the Panthers?
Well, we beat the Falcons the last time, and the Panthers, they just edged us out. I believe they got a touchdown and a field goal in like the last 5-6 minutes of the game that we played them.
What about the Packs?
I honestly am not too worried about the Packers this year. They are really in disarray. That's why I said I'm sorry to make TalK, because they just from the front office all the way down. They've had a few players leave. They've had a few players go through free agency. So it's a hot mess. And like to be honest, Rodgers just does not have the receivers that he needs to be the effective quarterback.
Right. And you guys said you don't get along with NFC teams, right?
No, AFC teams.
Okay, well, I feel bad.
We do pretty well. We do surprisingly good because we've beaten consistently really good NFC teams, but we've not really been able to get over AFC good teams.
Well, good, because I feel bad for you on one preseason game if it happens. And it's the Vikings versus the Bengals.
That would be interesting, but it depends. I guarantee it, since they're just doing the two, they're going to do probably one from each division.
And then here's TLO.
So if we're already doing the Browns, then that means the next logical one would be an NFC team. And that's why I said the Seahawks.
Now, TLO, this is where I feel bad for you guys, all right? Because I feel bad for you guys because you guys play the Titans.
Well, we play almost every playoff team from the AFC division, with the exception of the Chiefs.
You guys play the Texans.
The Texans. We play the Colts. We play.
I want to look at this. I want to look at the Steelers' schedule for this year. Since we're talking about it. You still there, TLO?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I really do feel bad for the Steelers this year. Yikes. Oh, we don't play on Christmas Day this year? Oh, fuck you.
That's your bye, or are you playing a Thursday game?
1-3. Hold on. I'm going to go look at January of next year. We play a Sunday game after that.
Gotcha.
But no, this is who my team plays, and I feel so sad. So the Steelers versus the Cowboys. As we all know, the Steelers and the Cowboys were going to be at it in the Hall of Fame game. As we all know, the Hall of Fame game has been canceled.
Yes.
As we all know, Dwayne lives in the state where the Hall of Fame is at.
Partly the reason why they canceled it.
Fuck you, TLO.
It's true.
They canceled it because I'm here.
No, because of Canton.
Can't blame them.
Correct.
So here's our schedule. Preseason. Bucks and Steelers. Saints and Steelers. Steelers and Jets. Preseason game. Here we go. Season games. Panthers. Giants. Bronx. Texans. Titans. Eagles. Browns. Ravens. Cowboys. Bengals. Jaguars. Ravens. Redskins. Bills. Bengals. Colts. And the Browns. I feel bad for us on the 6th of December. You want to know why, TLO?
Why?
We got the goddamn Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins are going to be an interesting team. I'm still undetermined on them.
And then I feel bad because we also have the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos usually play you guys pretty tough.
But I don't feel bad about the Ravens. I don't.
Really?
That's a rivalry game for us.
Of course it's a rivalry, but they now have Lamar Jackson.
They still ain't going to win.
And didn't they pick up a pretty decent receiver in the free agency?
I think they picked them up in the draft.
Well, they got a decent one in the draft, but I think they got somebody like a old-time slot receiver type guy.
Yeah.
And we can't forget that the Ravens do have a very tough defense still.
The hell is this? A new form of the national anthem?
No, the season openers for everybody is going to be actually they're going to play "Lift Every Voice and Sing," which is the African American or Black national anthem, and then they're going to play the actual national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
Dude, they recorded the national anthem and they have videos from the protests and everything in it. Dude,
Well, I'm
that is
sure it's just more, media blitz for the NFL.
No, this isn't a protest group that I'm in.
Oh, it's a protest group? Well, then there you go.
But no, back to the NFL. Anyone playing on the 24th of December? I don't think so. That's because that's too close to Christmas.
Well, yeah, that's why there are Christmas games, because they just decided to have those games on Christmas.
I mean, but there's been Christmas games every year, though.
Almost every year. They usually have like a couple of them.
The past 4 years.
I would say last 2 years for sure. I don't know about 3 years ago.
Past 3 years, because my grandma died 3 years ago.
On Christmas?
No, she didn't die on Christmas, but we watched the Steelers game with her.
Gotcha.
Yeah, on Christmas we watched that game with her. TLO, turn your camera on, Goofy. Just take a look at Ramla Shelton. We haven't seen that face in a minute, man. Damn.
It hasn't been that long, Dwayne.
It's been about a good month.
No, it's because I was just on I was watching it again the other night with Scarlett.
Oh, you were on with Scarlett.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I think even the freaking video capture has me on it for the video itself.
Yeah, but no, I will say this though. The NFL season's gonna be amazing this year.
Well, if it gets to fully play out, we'll see.
I mean,
A lot of people, just to put in the what the current events aspect of things, just with the increase in COVID and the increase in blitz of media coverage of how we're all going to die. We'll see how things progress, especially with sporting events and whatnot, because there's a lot of trial and tribulation going on in the NBA, and they're poorly trying to emulate what Germany has done effectively for their National Basketball Association, as it were. Because they've actually been able to play quite a few games and nobody's gotten sick as of yet. And so what they're doing and how they're doing it is what we're trying to emulate with this bubble aspect of having the players and the team.
Are they guarding 6 feet back?
Well, yeah, that's the thing is you basically get rid of social distance, but then you adopt the quarantine method. And so basically, even though you are on opposite teams, you become a family and you would stay in the same hotel, with each other. The coaches and everybody would stay there, and they would literally stay. They wouldn't be traveling all over the country or this and that.
They just keep playing the same people.
Yep. Well, the same couple of teams within their little bubble.
That's not
that's why they're breaking them up into these weird divisions or somewhat playoffs.
But that's not a bad way to do it though either.
No, it's not. To be honest, that's what most people, if you wanted to say have a party for 4th of July this weekend, that would be fine even if you had a bunch of people, but you just have to make sure that all those people would just be, quarantined or away from other people for a while. I mean, that's the whole point is if you get rid of the social distancing aspect, then you have to adopt or overcompensate, as it were.
Right. And I agree with you there. And Pam, that's a good question. TLO, do you want to address that one?
And that's another thing. There may not be fans in the stadiums. They're preparing for that. I know they're preparing for that possibility because I read something, I think it was on Fan Nation, talking about how they're going to be charging people for their cardboard cutouts. So not physically them, but produced cardboard cutouts of these people. Bucks versus Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are another team that, once again, isn't really going to do very much because they're from the front office down to
Tell's question.
Huh?
Did you say cutouts of people?
Yes. People will physically not be able to attend. There's a few states like California. Governor Newsom already said that he's not going to allow people to go to sporting events if they happen.
I just can't believe you said fucking cardboard cutouts.
Yes.
Like you said that, and I'm fucking dying inside. I'm like, that's where we're going.
And Pamela is correct. Like they do in China, like they do in Japan. Um, but yeah, they will print out a cardboard cutout, and they're just gonna pump in audience crowd noise and stuff. But yeah, there's a few states that said that they will not allow people to go to the stadiums, and
Y'all,
they're actually some of the bigger states or ones that have multiple teams.
y'all
Because
about to
right
learn
now,
how.
Texas is also facing that right now.
Yeah, TLO. Y'all about to fucking see how I do this.
Um,
My mom fucking took my lighter.
Dwayne, you do realize that I was born in a generation where most people would light their cigarettes by the stovetop.
I was just showing you how the new generation does it.
It's definitely not a new thing, my friend.
Dude, I just fucking hate lighter thieves. Like, bitch, you took my only fucking functioning working lighter.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Like, bitch, I'm gonna strangle you. TLO, the one thing I do want to say though is, what about people that have season tickets? Here's the thing, and that TLO, that's a good question. Like the Hall of Fame game's been canceled, right?
Correct.
Watch this. Tickets go out a year before the game. Because it's the most Ohio, every state, I swear to God, comes to fucking Canton, Ohio for 3 fucking days and they go, fucking stupid. I'm ready to kill people.
Well, that's
Our
why
highways are fucking packed. Our streets are fucking packed. People are dumbasses. Fucking fireworks fucking everywhere. I hate Hall of Fame weekend. I hate it.
That's pretty amusing considering how you were ranting and raving about it earlier.
Because I had tickets to go to the game.
And so the people that have tickets to go to the game are going to go and act stupid like that. That's just kind of the normal cause and effect of it.
They canceled the game and they're not giving people their money back.
Yeah, that part is going to be problematic, but there may be something in their clause because if you actually read tickets, they do have a lot of weird bylaws and clauses where they can basically get you out of your money.
Watch it like this. When the game was canceled back in 2017. 2016 when the game was canceled. Because of the cement being hard. Because of the field being like cement. They didn't refund nobody.
So it's not breaking news then.
No, and let me tell y'all about that, because y'all gotta find this fucking stupid as shit. I was working traffic control for that game, right? I was working traffic control, and everybody's coming back. We get a large text from our alert app we had on our phone that can go out to everybody, saying the game's been canceled, massive evac. They painted the fields too much and the end zones turned into cement. Ooh, TLO, did you know you can pin comments? TLO.
You mean like that?
Yeah, boy. I'm just teaching you.
Oh, I kind of figured that one out when I saw things get highlighted on here when you picked stuff out. And since I assumed since we're sharing the same access, that it'd be reflecting.
Yeah, TLO, and you don't have, when you like click out of it and you type in StreamYards, you'll just come to the main stream now. It doesn't log you out.
No, I know. Because when I turned off my phone and came back, it was still on, so I assumed as much. Yeah, MGTOW, we had that issue too here in the Minneapolis area when we were doing our stadium, and we had the play at the Gophers stadium, the TCF Bank Stadium. The same
Everybody,
thing happened.
I,
We had to
I,
cancel, and we had a couple of those games, and that was the end of Brett Favre's career.
I think every team's had a problem with cement fields before.
Well, yeah, absolutely, especially outdoor stadiums. Like if
And
you
see,
have any access to the outdoor, elements, you're going to have some degree of that.
I'm jealous of people that have dome fields.
Yeah, indoor stadiums is nice, and our stadium kicks ass. I am
Canada's
very proud, because
Canada's is nice.
those big ass doors that they open up and let the fresh air in, and the way they design that thing, even though you're walking through the middle of it, you feel like you're outside. Like it
Cam,
totally, because of the breeze, because of the
yep,
airflow, because of all the light. Like US
you
Bank
feel like
Stadium
you're
is
outside.
amazing. Yeah, you do. You feel like you're outside, because I have so many pictures from inside the stadium, from games, from events, from when they opened the damn thing. Like I took the big tours, and yeah, it is a very high-tech stadium, and it's really cool. I'm proud that they did finally get their heads out of their asses, come together, and put everybody's money together, not just the public's money, which is what they wanted to happen, but like
And
everyone chipped in.
they got rid of natural turf and put astroturf in because there was more injuries on natural turf than astroturf.
Correct.
AstroTurf is rubber instead of grass fields because there was never natural turf. It was all grass. But on grass fields, there is more injuries and more broken bones and bones sticking out because of the way people slide. But with AstroTurf, there's rubber mixed into it that is easier on the parts of the body that does not have padding.
Yeah, that's why they always refer, when you listen to the commentators, if you're watching a game, they always refer to the pellets, because you see the little rubber pellets bounce up, because that's essentially what replaces the dirt, is like
Yep.
little rubber pellets.
And that's what I've played on all my life when I played in middle school and high school was AstroTurf.
I played on AstroTurf and grass.
I played on grass, and here's the thing that I like with the AstroTurf: when you get hit and you land, it's more of a soft landing.
Oh yeah.
Like when your head bounces.
Oh yeah.
And when I say injuries, a lot more concussions happened on natural grass, on natural ground, than it does on AstroTurf. Tilo, I know why you turned your camera off too.
Well, of course.
Send me some.
It doesn't work that way.
I need it. I'm going to be working at McDonald's.
Right. Kind of need something to get through those days.
But you know what, Tilo? I'm really, if everything does happen, I really want to see how Patrick Mahomes plays this year.
Oh, I would say he's going to be stellar. I don't think he's going to be as stellar as he was last year, but he's still going to be stellar.
And the reason I say that is because during the first two preseason games and the first two season games, the commentators in the press is going to blow his ego up.
Well, of course.
Because
but they're gonna do the same to Brady, though. They're gonna do the same to Brady. Let's just be real. That's how the NFL, and that's how like the media, and that's how you can influence games. Because I believe a large part of the games, and a large part that's going to affect the dynamic and the outcome of a lot of these games and the season, is whether or not there are crowds. Because part of the reason why teams win or don't win is the electricity, is the energy that they draw from the crowds.
Yeah, and Migto, this is what I have to say to you.
Yeah, it's possible he may play. It's possible.
That's what I have to say to that comment.
Just like it is possible that Colin Kaepernick could be on a team.
Man, Colin Kaepernick just needs to keep his ass where he's fucking at.
No, I believe there's more in him. And considering that, with all the things going around, I believe he has the appropriate, as a wise, very wise man once said, the appropriate tackling fuel to perform at a high level in the NFL still. Because he's got a chip on his shoulder, and if he gets on a team, he is gonna be dangerous. He really is. Because he's gonna have a lot to prove. And we all know, say a la Bradshaw, that when you have a quarterback that's been downtrodden and has a lot to prove and has really good skills, they let it fly. And
Right.
that's kind of like the tackling fuel for Russell Wilson. Because the more people shit talk Russell Wilson, the better he plays.
Look at Ben. Ben's the same way.
Ben is actually the same way.
Look at it. Look at it like this. Because I'm going to bring it back this way, right?
Go ahead.
When Ben was accused of rape,
Correct.
what did he do when he came back and everyone was booing him?
Oh yeah, no, he performed.
Now, did I think that Ben should have did a little bit of time in jail? Yes.
I absolutely think he should have. And, for the most part, it is interesting to see that, given the situations with stuff that goes on today, where, say, a black NFL player can get in an argument or a domestic with his girlfriend
wife.
or partner. Yeah, like he just gets eviscerated. But yet, a man who's accused of a pretty high crime is allowed to basically come waltzing right back and play as if nothing really happened. Just like you said, like people would boo him, but he would still play and, still win.
In my thing is here too. Is anybody in the NFL that is charged? Look at how many OVIs happen.
Mm. Very true.
Look at OVIs. Look at shit. Let's just go across the spectrum here with all sports. Look at how many OVIs happen.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not just the NFL thing.
Look at how many drug charges happen. Look at how many look how many domestic violences happen. Look how many rape accusations happen.
Yeah, it's usually either drugs, violent sex, or guns.
Look at Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett got arrested for an OVI and drugs.
Correct.
Look at your guys' quarterback was arrested 2 years ago for an OVI and drugs.
Cousins?
I think Cousins was arrested a couple years ago, wasn't he?
No. Cousins is a pretty straight-laced guy.
No, it wasn't Cousins then. Somebody from your team was arrested a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was, I believe, one of our defensive linemen. The linemen are usually the culprits on our teams. Let's just be real. Besides the thing with AP.
Look at Hernandez.
Yeah, well, obviously there's a lot going on with that.
Look at Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell is an interesting story.
Do you know what? The only player that really had his head on straight when he was on the Steelers was Hines Ward
Absolutely.
Santonio Holmes.
I was about to say Holmes.
And then who's the one we're waiting to come back? He got injured last year during the Bengals game. Not last year, 2 years ago. James Harrison?
No, that was a while ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Was
he
it?
hasn't
And
played
he's just
since.
now getting back?
I think he's just getting back this year. His doctor cleared him.
That must have been a serious ass injury.
He had to have back surgery, dude. He was paralyzed.
Oh.
Hold on, I'll see if I can't go find that hit that injured him. If you haven't seen that hit, then TLO, I'm gonna go find this for you. Because if you haven't seen this hit, dude, I want you to see this.
I probably saw it way back when, but there's been quite a few pretty crazy hits of late, to be honest. There have been some violent assaults on people's bodies.
Yeah, okay, here it is. So this is the hit that took James Harrison out. We gotta go. No, we don't.
The Monday Night Football matchup between the Bengals and the Steelers took a dangerous turn. Steelers linebacker Ryan Shazier suffered a major
Oh, this is Shazier. I'm sorry. That's who we're waiting for.
Oh, they're really going to have him come back?
Yeah, let me look for the video. Hold on.
Because that seems like a very dangerous proposition. Because, yeah, if this guy's, like, been paralyzed, no
right,
telling how bad it could
Watch
get
this.
if he gets hit again.
Looking on from the sideline right now. On 2nd and 5, plenty of time.
That's the hit that injured him. I'll go back. You ready, TLO?
As I've said before, I've been hit by cars harder than that.
But watch what he does with his head. He goes in for the tackle with his head. And from here, he dislodged his neck and broke his back, like right in here. Where his hand's at.
Yeah, I don't think I would allow someone who had that sort of injury to play again. I have a feeling that this is going to end very tragically, unfortunately.
You can tell he's not moving his legs.
Yeah.
Because watch the hit again. He goes in with his
matter.
head.
He got hit and he got paralyzed. And I guarantee you the next time he gets hit like that again, he's going to die.
Well, no, he didn't get hit. He hit. Dude, watch.
Contender Ryan Shazier will step aside. No score.
Watch.
As I said, it doesn't matter. He got paralyzed. If he gets hit again, you should know this. He will die.
Yeah, he will.
I have just a traumatic brain injury. And the doctors said that I shouldn't at all costs go back to doing security because if I were to get hit in the head again, I would die. So yeah, letting a guy who had back surgery and a neck that got dislocated get back on the football field for a full contact sport is inviting tragedy.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to come back from an ACL, MCL, or shit like that, but you're talking about spinal damage, bro.
Yeah, dude, I know he got fucked up. Like, I was watching that game live when he got fucked up.
No, I'm sure you were watching the game.
Like, as soon as I seen, and this is how I saw things, because when he reached, because if a player reaches for that lower back in any injury, that is not a good sign.
No, it means there's probably damage to the discs.
You know, but honestly, TLO, I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Because what, you got to be up in a couple hours, don't you?
Yeah, in about 4.5 hours.
So, guys, thank you for joining us here literally on the Night Talk. It has been an amazing night. Just kind of a laid back night. Something that me and TLO and you guys can really engage in here is, the NFL, the sports aspect of things.
Some football.
TLO, do you have anything you want to say to the people?
Even though I stand alone, TLO stands for all. Good night.
Guys, from the seas to the sky, from the great East Coast in the Buckeye State of Ohio, we love y'all. Oh, before I do end it, if you guys want to donate, go to freedomrevolutionnetwork.com. Click the donate tab. We don't just have shows here. We don't just have the Night Talk. We have tomorrow night. We have Clarity After Dark with Scarlet Anonymous. Sunday, we have Journey into Freedom with Red Gypsy and Scarlet Anonymous. Monday, we have the original Red Pill Show. Every day, we have Down the Rabbit Hole with the L. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, you guys have me. Not this week, though, sadly. You guys only have me Monday and Tuesday. But guys, click that donate tab if you want to donate to a show. Go to the show page, click that donate button, and it will go right to me, which will go right back into the network. But TLO, thank you for joining me, man. It's amazing to have you as a co-host.
Thank you.
Guys, we will be back with more amazing shows. Good night, y'all. And we are